more about the just as a review as what Production Coach does, how to present it and stuff. If you have questions with your customers that you guys had, you can jump in and ask me this question. If I don't have the answer, I'll take it in notes. But it's really to get you guys more and more comfortable with the Production Coach software. Also, if there's some that would like to, or interested or stuff, we can also arrange some one-on-one to go on technical side if you guys need so. So please just let me know if you guys need some one-on-ones towards that. So first start, I will start again with our importation tab. So when I go inside my production import, this is where I think you guys are pretty much okay with this, to import a job. So we're going to get our simple job as we used to, the PM04, and just go inside that import job. Now, once we import, probably this was a new thing that we did for Atlanta, where maybe you guys are less comfortable towards that plane, is when we go in that button here, this is where we can attach more information about our customers that we do have, like the client name, the client address, the phone numbers. These are information that will follow to the rest of the process. Go on reports, go into planning also that we can see. Where we can set it up, a shipper or installer that we want inside of our software, well, this could be set it up here or directly in the planning part. What's really important when we import a job, so some of you can happen to import some custom jobs, don't see it in the planning correctly. Well, if they don't have no species attached, it won't come out inside of the planning. So this is why when I import a job, I see some with this little button right here. That means that there's no species attached to it. So we need to define a species to the job when we import it. Some job will come over directly with the amount of, with the direct species, correct? I'll show you where it's set up for you guys. Inside of here, we do have the monetary value. So if you want to set up a budget for the job, that will be used inside of the planning. So we can set up a budget. And we can define these budget also with an hour changes. So when I click here on the three little dots right there, I can specify a budget hour applied to that project that can be used. So if I say that, hey, 10% of the amount of money is applied to for my production, 10% for my cutting. Well, if I click on calculate it, automatically it's going to show me how much hour rate am I set it up in here. Save this, and I'm going to save this here. So if I go on the top right here in configuration, in import settings, you're going to see these three new menus, shippers, installers, and species. So this is where we can define some customized shipping person, like we see our trucks, we see pickup, but if we had two trucks or a specific shipper's name, we can create them inside of here. And we do have the same thing for installers. In the bottom, we have the species. This is where we can define in the species in here the name of the species, and importation code. This is where it defines this name automatically to attach in the species. So the way it works is that when it sees, let's say in our case, the word mail, automatically, as a material, in the cabinet, when they see mail, well, automatically it's going to specify that it goes on that species PL-1. So if there's none applied to it, it will come out with the dot like you see right here. So it looks really inside of the detail here, the material name, what material name is applied to a cabinet that we see right there as a material name. So since it's mail underscore, well, automatically it applies to that species. So if you want to create yours with your demo, depending on what material you're using, it's going to be in the species right here. Now what I want to do is open directly the planning part. So we can open the planning part by clicking in here, just that button right there. It's going to start up our planning inside of our desktop. So once we have a project that is automatically imported with the species attached, it will automatically plan itself to the date that it has been imported. From there, what we're explaining as a planning tool is that we can drag and drop our project to specify what date we want to plan it. If we open that project, we can also specify the shipper that we want attached to that project right there. So is it going to be our truck or pickup? So you can do it from the other screen, or you can do it from this screen also if you want in this aspect of things. So as you can also see, when we're talking about a project, it's going to be color code. So what we're explaining is to really plan and follow up our steps inside of our shop. So to specify, okay, is that project finished cutting? Is it finished kitted, assembled? So once it turned to the color, that means that the project is completed at its task, that it is. So we can plan our deliveries. We can plan also our installation. So if you click on the installation, you see it all towards that. And if you go in number 1 or number 2, you're just going to see the ones attached to each of them. Once again, inside your installation if you open your project that you have, well, you're going to be able to see directly in here the installer that you want to specify to it. Cancel this. Then the other part that we do have inside of our project there is our progress. So the progress bar, this is our different station that we want to plan or see towards that. So if I go at the cutting level, I'm able to plan my cutting week just by drag and drop my elements. So the way it works, each job are pushed back from the delivery date or the installation date. So inside of our configuration on the bottom right, if I open this, open my calendar, and I go inside my cutting station right here and reopen my setup tab right here, I can see, so depending on my species, what is the day from the start of delivery or installation am I planning my cutting. So it shows me automatically 6 days before my installation that I need to cut. But this can be changed manually. It's a guide for them to know, hey, am I balancing my production? Am I okay with my flow? By measuring them themselves, let me just take a bigger week, just by measuring them themselves on selecting their days by number of sheet, number of parts cut, or number of money values. So we have attached a money value to the project. We can see it here. The parts are already calculated inside of it, and we can have sheet numbers also calculated depending on your import software that you're using towards that. So you can balance yourself and measure it by a drag and drop. You're going to see that it's always grayed inside of my cutting, but at the end I see a green and red flag right here that specifies for me if it's done or not done at this station. So when you see it red, that means it's not done. When you see green, that means it can be done. Also, if I go in a day view, I'm just going to select it like this, a day view. There's some companies that want to do some planning by order. So if they go in their day view like this, they can select an order and just specify the orderance that they want for their project just by drag and drop. So I can specify that way, okay, do PC04 first and PC08 first. So the guy at the CNC can have only that view and see directly what is his orders to do for each day. If you select an order in the cutting view, you're going to also specify in the bottom here a view that lets you know what task has been completed to that job and what task is not completed to that job. And you can see the date where it has been planned and see if it has been done or not towards that day. So as you can see, we did all the tasks for that project, but we didn't have ship yet. That was scheduled for the 17th. So you can show different views like this, and you can multiple select. So if you have a person that does multiple tasks, they can select like the cutting and the kitted station, so you're going to see them combined in the same view, so they can specify and see what they can do inside of a full day with these two color codes for this. Now I'm going to close the planning tool, and we're going to go back inside of production code. So the other step we want always to show in our presentation is the tracking mode. So what we want to do is be able to pre-select items and just go in our status and change our status right here to say, hey, it has been cut. By clicking on the status button, we're going to change the status of these projects. For that, what we want to explain is the work order process right here. So if I click on my work order process, I can see what has been completed to my station and what's left that has not been completed for the other station. So when you click on your missing tab, you can see the details of your items that has been missing to complete that station. So this is really important that person inside of the shop can have access to that, and we really work in a pull way instead of a pushing way. So we keep always a view of what can be completed or not inside of your project. other factive tool that we want to show them for customers is to reduce their paperwork they have inside of their shop. So when we select a project right here, is to have a PDF attached file where we can have, and click on the plan right here, and we can upload directly inside of that a PDF of the project we do have. So so they can have and reduce their paper. They can have more than one file inside of that and reduce their paper and see all the elements attached to that project in here. Where it's placed to add, if you have a custom project and you want to add a PDF towards that, if you go on your C drive, I'm just going to open this on my C drive, inside production coach folder, you should have a file called, you should have a folder called PDF. Should check first. PDF. And here you have your PDF drawing of all of it. What's really important is that the PDF have the project name that you import. So once that's inside of that, with your project name imported, automatically you're going to have a PDF available right here that you can click on and visualize towards this. Then the other thing we want to show to our customers is to be able to see their dashboards or see in real time their progress they're doing with this. So I'm just going to do a little review, and I do think that you all receive also a document explaining all the views inside of it, the dashboard that we want to do. So what we're trying to show in here is that you can open your dashboard and see how much product has been scanned for each station that you're being done inside the real day. So what's really important with your dashboard is that you already have some data inside of it. It doesn't come out empty for your demos. So you can show a balance and you can show the number of products scanned for each station on top here and see if you're really balancing with your production. On the bottom right here, what we want to show is really your pending product between our stations. So we want to be sure that we do have, let's say, between the kitting and the assembly, how much product is not completed, pending, before it goes to the next station. So as we can see, we have 22 products showing in red because it's too high for what we want to ship. It's too high for us in our process, so it shows us that we're starting to have a bottleneck here that's being created. In the bottom here, what we want to show is our quality, percentage of quality that we're doing actually inside of our shop. So we can see that we have 2 on 500 parts that has been damaged. So we're okay, we're in their quality acceptance for our shop that we do have. On the left right here, it's our performance by day that we want to achieve. So we can select these by product, parts, or job. Are we achieving the goal with the actual hour time? So in some certain case, you're gonna open your demo file, your business intelligence file. You can see some in red. That means with the hour of the day, with the shift time, you're not going to complete. You're not able to complete your goal of the day that has been scheduled towards this. On the right here is all your project outgoing process. So your time tracking from the cutting station to the staging station, how much time the project has been inside of your shop. So you can see their progress, how much is completed towards all these steps right here, and for how much time it's inside your shop. You can see if you have some actual damage part or BO's part directly inside of it, and when it has been begin as a date time to start your project. If you guys want to go inside your options, you're going to be able to here to see the setups that we did inside of it. So in here we see each station that we have inside our project and knowing exactly what view we want to see for the workstation. In here, this is our setups for the bottleneck. So what is the minimum product I want to be pending between the office and cutting, and what is the maximum number of products I want between the office and cutting. Here is my performance by day, split in 4 parts of the day. Here's my quality percentage of my business dashboard that I did. And here is my workstation cutting time. So that's why it's starting to manage my hour rate, starting from the cut station to the staging station. So inside of that setting bar, this is where we can set up different configuration that we see inside of our real-time dashboard right here. After our dashboard, the next step that we want to show up is to be able to close that screen and then reopen ourselves with the kitting function. So when we connect ourselves inside of demo, it's going directly in our kitting station and be able to open our kitting sorting rack. I just want to apologize 1 second. My option was not there. Just going to open my kitting rack. So in here, this is where we can show our sorting rack towards our person. So what we want to really explain towards this is to be able to scan a part that you have in your sales document and show them that you're going to have sort display of your product when it's flashing red in here to show you where to place your product inside of your list. So you're going to be able to scan a second part to show them that the numbers go through like this. Oh, and if you scan a part that's not configured inside of that, the system will let you know. But you can scan your part and have your numbers going grow of your product that has been specified in here. Inside your list here, you can explain to a customer that you can see the missing part of a product. So if I click on the see missing part, you can select a bin and see what is missing as a part right here. You can also see that I have 2 new icons in this sorting rack that's going to be available in the next update. We're going to send you videos on this. But you can also sort parts now without having necessarily to scan a barcode. So it's going to be really easier to just sort and see the numbers go through to go to the red. In the bottom here, you're going to be able to allocate and associate another bin with your sorting rack. So what we want to explain to the customer with this is that your sorting rack is supposed to help you to be more efficient towards the assembly. So you don't have the assembly guy running around trying to figure out what's the part. They know exactly what they need to assemble, have all the parts towards their needs in front of them. So they're able to achieve their goal and objective goals instead of trying to search around and try to or start assembling a cabinet before having all the parts in front of them. Without having all the parts that they need or having a damaged part, they don't start a cabinet that doesn't have all the parts inside of that. So what you can also do with a bin inside of a sorting that sometimes we can tell them is that, hey, if you're scanning a part and there's missing space inside of that, you can associate a second bin. So it's really customized to the customer needs to be able to, sorry about that, select my bin, select a second rack where I want it. So what I just did here is associate the bin 1 and 4 together. So now they're able to really manage manually and automatically at the same time sorting racks, so they're not stuck with a specific design, and they can pre-design their sorting racks the way they want. It doesn't have to be that kind of bin towards it. And we are also going to be able to manage mobile racks. So you can have some customers that can ask you, hey, I don't have some fixed stored things. I'm using carts and stuff. So with our next update that our goal is to release to you guys next week, will contain now a management for mobile racks. So you're going to be able to manage some carts and see how much percentage is loaded of each of them and how much it's available, and change these rack inside of your view to have a new one inside of it that you're going to be able to manage. But what we're really trying to work with the sorting process is to be able to save time at the assembly, and the assembly doesn't start to be our bottleneck of production towards it. Then when that's done, what we want to show them also, if I close that screen, I'm going to connect me at the assembly station. It's the visualization of what we do have. So what's really nice is to be able to connect ourselves and be able to just scan a part that's going to load up our 3D drawing of our project and be able to show that 3D drawing and show them that the part that you just scanned is the one that has been selected towards it. And when you select your part here, you can see them on your screen. You can see a detailed picture of it. Also, if you have imported from WoodCAD right here, you're going to see the detail of it. If you want to hide your parts to see more details, and this is a 3D work that we redraw. What's really important to understand is that we redraw the cabinet inside of our application that we do have in here. So we're not taking the drawing from WoodCAD, we're redrawing inside of our process. And then be able to specify if there is a damaged part. So if you break that part, specify why it's damaged with automatic reasons here. So you can predefine these reasons for customers as they need it, specify our damaged part, and show them that the office or the station that we do want can receive the signal to specify that there's a damaged part. So this is configuration. They can set up who they want to receive these information towards what it is. So when they go inside their warning center, they're able to see the parts inside of it and see what's inside. Also, with the next release, you're going to be able to filter out. So some people will only see the damaged parts. Some people can only see the BOs, or the back orders, sorry, that they want inside of it. And then when a part has been retaken, we just click on the checkbox. And before we click on the checkbox, if you click on this list right here, you can have detail of your part that you just specified that has been damaged. Now you click on the checkbox. You click on the checkbox and you specify what station are we retaking that part. You're going to see the orange disappear. That will specify that the damaged part is not anymore. But it's been highlighted in yellow to tell them that the part is in reprocess. If they want, the industry can track the part at what station they are, but not all the industries does it. But if they want, they can do this. Once the part has been cleared, if they want to clear it out, or if you want in your demo cleared out that yellow line, you just need to select that line and double click on it. It's going to remove it as been yellow. So if you guys just want to remove these yellow lines, you can just by double clicking on it towards that. The other thing we want to show towards it right after is to be able to do some staging. So our staging product is to specify where are we placing our project inside of our shop. So if I'm selecting just one product, clicking on the staging button, I will have this staging screen appear. So that's not the same thing as the sorting. It's really a stager product before shipping. Inside of here, we're going to see red or blue. So red means that is already taken by a job, and you can see the job name inside of that list. When it's blue, that means you already have some product of your actual work order inside of that staging area. So this is what it means, the green and the blue in this section. And when it's green, that means it's available, there's nothing inside of it. So if I select a product, I can specify what product I want to place inside that staging area, so I can just check them all, or just click on the select all and select all the items on the top. And if you have some detached items, you can select them in the bottom. If I save this, you're going to see the staging area of each items where they are right here inside of your shop. If you want to create kitting labels, so if you select items that have some detached items, or even if it's a product, doesn't matter, because the kitting could be on pallets. So you can select items, multiple items, and specify the kit number that you want. It has to be a number, no letters inside of that name, really numbers that you specify, and click on kits. So you're going to have a kit number right here. Just have to be sure that one item is selected to print out your kit label. Don't select all the items, just one, so it creates to you one kit label. Automatically, you're supposed to have by default your PDF printer. So when you have your PDF printer and you click on your kit labels, it will generate you a label in PDF. If you have your standard printer, well, automatically it's just going to print your labels. That's going to go directly inside of your own machine. So if I create a PDF right here, I can save it whatever I want and just open it right after and explain that I do have a kit label right here with all the information created inside of that kit. Now, other thing we want to show is to be able to show them the shipping report. So once you select your item here, we can scan our product or just change it manually. And what I'm doing in purpose is forgetting one product right here. So I'm changing my status to be able to open my shipping report and show to the person inside of that report that I do have one item that is BOs that is back ordered, that has not been selected. So since it's not been placed to shipping, well, it's not going to go, you're going to see directly inside of the screen that you're missing an item. So you're validating before you leave that you're already missing an item, that it's not, your job's not going to be complete. You can also specify the number of packages that you have or kits that you have just by the tool right here inside of your report. So you can validate. The goal with it is to really simplify and make sure they don't forget nothing. And just this area with the shipping part they just have there, they are already really fast with just synchronizing that part of things towards it. One thing, if you ever ask, once all your product has been shipped, by the way, automatically your staging area will be cleared, so you don't have to bother with this. This can be cleared automatically there. Now, other little thing I just want to show you, because I did have some comments on person that say, hey, demo. So if you go in your configuration, import settings, general, inside of your import settings right here, you're going to see a detach option. Okay, so inside of that detach option, this is name of items that you specify that you want it to be detached. So it's specific on your product names or your article names that you're going to import, so they go directly in the bottom. The reason why we put an asterisk in front and in back of it is that means that if you find the word filler anywhere in the article name, automatically it goes in the bottom list. So it doesn't have to fit directly with the names with these filters by asterisks. If you want specific items to go there, you need to type in the specific name of your item. So if you just type in your item like this and click on add, automatically if he sees an article called item, it will go in the bottom for detached items. But if you add a stars in front and in back, automatically if you just see the word item, it's going to be a detached item. So you just type this inside of that and add, and it's going to go directly in the bottom for detached items. So this is where it's been placed inside of that. So I think we did a big review. I don't know if there's some people that do have some question with what I showed and with your demos that you guys did.
Thanks, Jonathan. Do we have any questions for Jonathan? Okay, I'm going to shut the recording off right now.